Captain's log, stardate 2 to the power of 5. We realize that actually no one here knows what a RaySphere even is. So espionage shall be our solution to this. 2 agents are in place and ready to report.
Resistance is futile.
Agent, the other one. I mean you. Yes, report. Both drops are successful. With these in place, we have free access to all their resources. Dr. Snidely, please do your thing. Yes, Captain, I will do my thing, whatever that refers to. Sometimes I do indeed wish back the times in academia where most of the morons were just half as smart as me, which is still enough intellect for them to express themselves. So, here we are and have a look at the output of the respective programs. On the right, there is the Gopher version, which appears to be a slight color variation to the original of the Ceepepporg. Now, let's have a look at the size of their facility that they needed to produce these. I know the size is not always the biggest or best measurement, but here we would aim for smaller is indeed better, because it implies that things are more efficient. Thanks to our agent, we should be able to freely move around their premises. Let's go to the CPP implementation, the Ceepepporg implementation, and see how long it takes them to make one of their RaySphere images. 0.64 seconds. That's pretty decent, especially for a file that apparently is 16 kilobytes in size. But let's look at what they link to. Let's look at what dependencies they have. They link to the runtime for Ceepepporg, which in turn is 1.3 megabyte in size. So after all, their total size is about 1.32 megabyte. Not too bad. Now, let's have a look at the Gopher implementation. We make an image one more time, and I don't know why I know that. I can do it with make image, but I will just go ahead. And they take twice as long, 1.2 seconds, amazing. But probably it's much more difficult to produce these gorgeous green spheres. Question is why they are that much slower, but maybe the Gopher implementation isn't as efficient as the one of the Ceepepporg. What dependencies might they have? Wow, 0 dependencies, but that explains the bigger file size, 1.5 megabyte. They're clocking in at, which is probably because they contain the entire runtime that's required to run any Go program. Now, let's have a look at the Ceepepporg implementation. Ray.cpp is the facility that they have all their secrets in. Some vector math, and then a scene and a sphere that appears to be a scene here. Yes, I don't criticize the architecture of their, after all, rather fast implementation, but it seems a bit odd. And yeah, the program is overall very concise, very short, but also the author might have tried to speed up the program by keeping things on one line, kind of cramming stuff together. If that really works is up for a later discussion, I suppose. Very interesting indeed. Now, let's have a look at the Gopher implementation, just for comparison purposes. Oh yeah, less concise but more maintainable. I do like that, to be honest. And at first glance, I can see that they copy the vectors around quite a bit, which might be a penalty for their performance. We Rustaceans, we shall do better and use our famous move semantics to be much more efficient when handling this vector math. Well, that's all very nice and interesting, and I can't wait to actually start implementing our own version. For now, our little program that does nothing clocks in at how much? Let's try that. Let's build first, and now let's see how big the binary is. 700 kilobyte. I round up here because I can afford it. This contains the entire runtime. I do know that for sure as well. So in a way, we are very slim, especially compared to the Go and also compared to the CPP program. That's a good basis, and I hand over to our captain. Excellent. This paves the way for phase 3 of our operation, total domination.
That and more in our next episode of Trace Quest 5.